with that, we are in South Korea for the second leg of Newcastle's Far East tour. So we've made it to South Korea for the second leg of this trip. It was a flight through the night from Singapore into Seoul, and now, yeah, we're just sort of getting our bearings and seeing where we're heading tomorrow in terms of a press conference. Obviously there's 2 games to be played here and a host of fan events, so we're going to be taking it. But at the moment we're just having an early look around, gain some early impressions, and yeah, set we're stall out for the week ahead here in South Korea. So yes, I spoke to Eddie Howe last night at the press conference, and it was the first time I had the opportunity to ask him just how the squad are bearing up with Isak not involved. And you know, he was talking about saying we can't deny that, you know, it is a factor, and it has been, you know, obviously noticed, but Newcastle just have to get on with it now, and that's pretty much what Eddie Howe's saying. He doesn't want to use it as an excuse. I also spoke to Kieran Trippier as well, and yeah, again, he said to me that all this talk of friendlies not being important in terms of results, he doesn't buy into that. He does feel that these games are important on the scale of the big picture, and they do, you know, they all add up. So lots was discussed after the game, and you know, Newcastle is moving on. I think that's got to be the sort of brief moving forward, and what will be with Alexander Isak. But also a few hints that, you know, he might not leave, according to Eddie Howe, according to Kieran Trippier. You know, the situation is quite simple, that he is a player that, you know, he's important. I mean, whether this deal does go through or it doesn't go through, you know, it hasn't helped Newcastle. It's not ideal, is it? You know, your star striker not turning up on tour. And I've spoken to a lot of ex-players as well, and, you know, they talk about round the clock sort of care for a player, and you know, the suggestion is, you know, he's probably not in a good place for that. I mean, I'm sure there'll be physios back at Newcastle, but in terms of team bond and team spirit, it doesn't do a lot for that. So yeah, a couple of quick reflections on the match last night. You know, I said in the immediate aftermath that for me it was, you know, good performance. Just the result wasn't there. Showed fighting spirit. Some positives: Alanga and Murphy getting goals, and you know, they move on to the next game. And difficult to know. It's almost a journey in the unknown against the K-League 11. The K-League is reasonably strong, and you know, Newcastle, you know, they won't be able to take it lightly. If you go back to that tour of Australia at the end of last season, or the season before, Newcastle lost 8-0 to an A-League 11. So you can't take anything lightly. You can't take anything lightly at all. It's one for Newcastle, where they go into it against, you know, a group of players who'll be wanting to make a name for themselves. There's no doubt about that. They'll be trying to impress Premier League talent spotters. This is an opportunity to do exactly that, and Newcastle will have to, you know, be at their very best to get the result. And that's something that, you know, was at the forefront of Eddie Howe's press conference last night. But yeah, press conference tomorrow, so heading there tomorrow at 2 p.m. over here, and yeah, we'll be bringing you everything Eddie Howe has to say from that. I think they're putting a player up as well, and yeah, and then it's on the match on Wednesday for the first of 2 games here in Seoul.